Today's Sunday, and I feel like Sunday should be a quiet, peaceful, serene days. But there's a lot of noise in this neighborhood. It, I'm in Jamaica, so like it's so funny out here. If everyone like yell at each other, calling each other names, like I don't know, just screaming out at each other, talking, playing music for the whole neighborhood. So I don't know. This is 852 frequency tuning fork. You know, earlier today I was on this app called Clubhouse and I was listening to one of the houses on there. It's supposed to be like a spiritual house. And the person who's running the house is talking about obviously spirituality. And they're talking about their experience, their ayahuasca experience, their psychedelic experience using ayahuasca. And before he went into the whole ayahuasca experience, he was talking about like what spirit wanted him to speak about for the today's program or whatever you want to call it. And he was saying that spirit wanted him to talk about soul fragmentation and what was the other thing? Something else. I forgot what it was. So I was there listening, and he's talking about, spirituality, how um, we are one with the Creator, and all all the usual things that I've heard before and I know of already. And I'm like there, and I'm like, okay, confirming, confirming. Like for me, like I'm like super vigilant. I always when I'm listening to people, I'm like waiting to see if they're gonna say something wrong, which I am like consciously aware of it. I'm working on it. And I think it's probably it most not probably it stems from like my prior experience when I was coming into my own spirituality of dealing our experience in people who are observing others people energy by using their power or because they have more knowledge of something, so they use that against people to dominate those who are unaware, who are seeking. And because these people are unaware and are seeking, they seeking like something outside of them, the leader, to give them the information, to give them knowledge, to teach them, And I have experienced people who are very arrogant and think that they're the only one who's God and they're above other people and they have all the power. And if you try to voice your own opinion or ask question, you basically get yelled at or get blocked or be removed from the group just for questioning things that they're saying. So I've experienced that. So now when I listen to people, I'm always like waiting for that to happen, like to see if they are that type of person, who are just energy vampires, basically. So as I was listening to this program, he was saying all the good stuff, and he was saying like how I'm not, I'm an aspect of God, I'm manifesting of God, so is all of us, and I'm not a, I'm not like any different from you. We're one, and don't take what I'm saying. You gotta look into it and meditate on it or whatever, whatever. And he was talking about how after he a while of saying all the good stuff, I'm like, okay, all right, all sound right, all sound good. He went into talking about his experience with ayahuasca. Now, his experience with ayahuasca, he was talking about these entities, dark entities, how these dark entities, like the reptilians and some other ones that he named, were like usurping human energy by like when you are deceased, and when you are on the other side, your spirit self, how they would pretend to be light beings, like your ancestors or Jesus or somebody, so they could capture your soul and have you reincarnated. So he was saying these things, and he was saying how, how these dark entities were feeding on his energy when he used to go through these things that he thinks term as negative, like breaking his leg, getting in a car accident, blah blah blah, and people around him was dying. And I'm like, what the hell? So he was saying all these things. He was just saying a bunch of like, the more he keep talking about his experience and all these dark entities, and they stealing people's energies and capturing people's soul, and I'm like, I start getting this feeling of like this fear is coming up. I'm like, what the hell? And then he just keep going and going, and this fear feeling just keep getting stronger and stronger. And I'm like, if I didn't know about these things, because I've taken ayahuasca, I've taken psychedelics, different forms, all different types of psychedelics before. If I didn't know what he was talking about, I would have been really, really scared shitless, because all of these negative stories that he was telling, about his experience. And how he also mentioned how at one point he met Enki and Isis, and Isis, what he said Isis did for him, maybe like indoctrinate him or give him some wings or something like that, I don't know. And I'm like, he's a master, and he also mentioned this is the first time that he's ever had this high consciousness. He was keep coming back here after 10,000s of years. Um, but anyway, he just keep bringing up, talking about these negative stories about his experience with people, just negative, negative, negative. And I'm like, just all this fear was just coming out from me just listening to him. And to the point that I finally decided to say something. I'm like, whoa, can you like talk about some positive experience in the chat? And he like respond right away, like, no, these are things that's going on that needs to be told. He also mentioned about how to that whole the dark beings or the Luciferian beings tell you what they're doing by putting in movies and things like that, to get your consent to do something. And he talked about that, like, what else he talks about. But anyway, so then I made that comment, and he stated what he stated, how this needs to be talked about, and we need to know what's going on. And then I'm like, yeah, I know, but this is giving off a lot of fear vibration. And they literally delete me, block me right then as I said that. So me talking about this or speaking about this, like, people are there like listening to these people, and then they're offering like private Zoom session for healing and for energy, soul activation and all this nonsense. And I'm like, saying like poor these people who are gonna follow them and go do all of these things. And I'm like, knowing goddamn well they can't heal anybody. Like no one could heal you. You could only heal yourself. And you have to be ready for it, for that person to assist you with your healing. You have to be ready. Your soul have to be ready. And then it has to be part of your path, you know? It is what it is. So and then he was talking about how basically all these negative things. And I'm like, okay, but those are what I wanted to say, which I didn't get to because they deleted me and blocked me, was that all these things are aspects of the creator, every single thing. And if he claims that he know that God is loving, God is all things, then all those things, and he also mentioned how we create our own experience. I'm like, and then after they blocked me, and I'm thinking like, man, this motherfucker is clever, excuse my language. All the things that he's saying, I'm like, all those dark entities he's experiencing and all those things that's happening, he's attracting them. He's creating all those experiences himself. Yeah, like I've took ayahuasca. Dark entities have never come to me on ayahuasca. So I've taken ayahuasca. I've taken magic mushroom. I've taken kambo, sapo. Never has any dark entities has come to me, and anything dark that I've ever felt was an energy that I was holding on to within my own self that I had to release and let go of. Okay, so yeah, you do have entities that feed on low vibration, like fear, which is exactly what he was doing, that feed on fear and guilt and shame, all those low vibrational emotions, you know, and thoughts. And and I'm like, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, dude, this dude is very clever. So he's literally telling exactly what he's doing. That's how he's telling you what you're doing. He's telling you what he's doing, and you consent to do. You're still staying. You're not leaving. Because he said, oh, you have the right to choose if you want to stay and listen or take whatever I'm saying or look into it for yourself or go figure, you know, learn on your own. And he's basically telling all these horrific, low vibrational stories that sending out fear vibration. And I was feeling that. I was feeling all that fear that was coming off. Maybe he's in fear himself. I don't know, but he still need to work on a lot of shadow work to do. Got to release all that fear. Um, but yeah, he was obviously all those experiencing is that he's attracting all of those experience, those low entities yourself. When you're on psychedelics, if you're experiencing dark entities, what you term dark entity, even though all is an aspect of the creator. So the entities who are not so much letting their light shine, they want to experience the other aspect of creation, the dark, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of them do get lost in down there, but in the lower astral, in the lower planes, yes, you could go there based on your vibration, based on all. If you're holding on to these imbalanced energy within you, yeah, you go to lower astral plane when you're on these. But if you're in a high vibration or if the medicine bring you up, it depends on your intention too when you're taking the medicine, what you want to work on, what you want to experience. You don't go into like a low astral plane. You don't meet low entities. I've never met any low entities on any psychedelics. Never. I've experienced Mother Ayahuasca, and it's pure love. I've experienced the love of that entity of ayahuasca. It's comforting. It's I don't know. It makes me cry when I experience the love. It's just crazy. Okay, I have experienced those things. I've experienced love. I've experienced releasing my own imbalanced energy that I'm holding on to. I've experienced learning about myself, the one infinite creator. I've learned that. I've learned a lot of things. My consciousness have expanded on psychedelics. But have any dark entities ever came to me and try to like get me to do something or start feeding me with negative information? No. And any negative thoughts that I have are coming from within myself, and that is coming from a place of fear, which I've experienced that, yes, like being fearful while I'm on the medicine, but the medicine is just help bringing up the fear that you're already holding inside of you. You already have that. If it's not there, then you won't experience that. If you are in a high vibration, you only go into higher planes. You're not going to go to lower planes unless you choose to go there. Yeah. So I've experienced the creator, the love of the creator. Yes, I've experienced that. I've experienced a lot of things, but I just never experienced any dark things and people dying around me and all these negative energy, and I'm channeling negative energies and negative beings. I have not experienced that. There's only one time that I was on mushrooms, and I felt these energy that connected to the back part of my head. There's a name for that. There's a certain chakra back here. There's a point in your at the tip of the brain stem where beings, entities could connect there and can like communicate with you or attach to you. Um, and I experienced that one time, maybe twice. I think I experienced it once, and when I was experiencing it, I didn't like it because I felt like I was being possessed. It's this high energy being that was coming in there, but it made me feel like I'm possessed. And I said, and I verbally state, I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. It feels like I'm being possessed. Don't do that ever again. Don't do that again. And that it never happened to me again. They never connected that way. Most of the time now when I'm on ayahuasca, it's through telepathy that they communicate and feeling. I feel it. It's a feeling. I just feel the information, you know? Um, but they never connect there again because I didn't like how it feel because it did feel like I was possessed. I feel like I was possessed, but I just because I feel the connection, I feel the attachment there. So therefore I thought I didn't like it. But and some of that too is come back from religion because in religion they talk about possession, so it's that belief system that I had that make me think like, oh my god, I'm possessed, and I don't like it, like don't do that again. But yeah. So yeah, and I've done channeling through people where I'm the one who's asking the question and the entities coming through the people, and when I'm on psychedelics they have came through me and channeled through me, and I never felt anything dark. The information that was come up was about light and love, and we are one. It was just always is positive. It's not negative. So, but the things that this guy was talking about was just so negative. Everything is negative. I'm like, why all this experience have been so negative? Like, what the hell? I wouldn't want to go to that person for healing or for any type of spiritual help. If all your experience has been with negative entities and negative people around you, why would I? When God is love. So why you experience all those dark things? So we ought to be careful too when we are becoming awake, and the people that we are listening to and the people that we are going to for healing, for help. No, read books. It's better to read books. Sit down and meditate and go within yourself. Ask yourself. God is within you. Go within yourself and ask for help. You literally will get the answer. I'm telling you, whether it be in dreams, whether it's somebody, whether it's a video, your higher self will lead you to that answer. So go within yourself. I used to go to people for healing. This is why I was like, and I don't want to say this, so I started ayahuasca, but I started taking psychedelic because I wanted to use the plant for healing. But I did went to Peru because I wanted to go to a shaman and do this whole thing for like 3 months. And basically, when I was there, I'm thinking those people know all things and they're like top healers and they're going to help heal me. Like that's the belief I had. And then when I went there, I realized that These motherfuckers don't know more than I do. They don't know. All they do is just give out goddamn medicine. Okay, they just know how to brew it and they give it out, but they're not more. They weren't more connected than I am to the Creator. They weren't. They still believed in possession, and I'm talking about this is in Peru. They believe in possession. They believe that you could be possessed and people could put curses on you and all kinds of things. They believe these things. Remember, whatever you believe is what you're going to experience. If you believe it, you will experience it. You're calling on the universe to give you the experience of what you believe. So therefore, yeah, they're gonna experience what they believe, right? But I didn't believe any of that stuff because I know all is the creator, right? But when I was there, the stuff that she was telling me started to put the Jesus fear inside of me because they were talking about, oh, you could have a possession and something is attached to you, and the reason why she was saying this to me is because I channel when I'm on psychedelics, like higher beings come through, higher aspect of myself comes through me and speak through me, right? And I knew this because it's not the first time it was happening to me. It been happening before I even go to Peru, but they didn't know that. They didn't know, so they think that I'm possessed. Like if you, nothing should. When you're on ayahuasca, you should be sit still and quiet, and no entity should speak through you. I mean, when they take the medicine and they sing the Icaro, I don't know where they think Icaros is coming from. That is coming from the medicine from other entities. That's channeling sound, which is a form of healing. And how you would know things is from taking the medicine. So sometimes too, they don't even take the medicine when they were doing the ceremonies. That's another thing. So remember, like, we are all here and we are all spirit and we are having human experience, but we also have distortion. Like if you have a lot of programming, if beings are channeling through you, if your vibration is low and your belief system, that is going to distort the message. So the message is not going to come out pure. So we are our own healer. We need to stop relying on other people to heal us, including the damn doctors. They don't know nothing. Like honestly, some of them still think like all different parts of the body don't even like communicate. Like the spirit is separate from the body. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them do. And a lot of them, they don't even believe in herbs, even though medication are made from herbs. After they pump all the chemicals in it, now it's no good. But anyway, so yeah, that's what happened today. And I wanted to talk about that. And it's just so funny that I was having this conversation with this lady yesterday about meditation and sound healing because she's a Jehovah's Witness, and Jehovah's Witness teach that meditation is evil because no, we shouldn't be connected to the spirit. Spiritism is evil, even though you are a spirit, you are not the body. It says so right in the Bible. Must we bring out the Bible and say some Bible verses? I think I should. So many Bible verses that say that you are the spirit and not the body. Yet they're telling people not to connect with the spirit. And you know, this church, I don't know how people forget that the church is the same one that was burning and killing and chopping people's head off for going against the church. For what is going against the church? Whatever they were preaching, whatever they say was the truth for them, which is men. And I don't mean in the sense of like male. I'm talking about like mankind. But yeah. So remember, they were killing people, women, for being witches. And what is a witch? Someone who works with herbs, who use plants to heal, who are connected to their spirit within, who are connected to the Most High, who are connected to the Creator. Right? These are the people that they were calling witches, and that was killing them. People who were consciously aware of the trueness of their beings. The church was killing these people. So if you go contrary to what they still preaching today, which is what's in the Bible, what they preach in the Bible, that God is outside of yourself and you should worship God who is outside of yourself somewhere, who gonna punish you or send you to hell for having sex outside of a marriage. Oh my goodness. What else that God is gonna punish you for? Hmm? This world is so confusing. Society is so confusing. Look at how they treat women, right? They want you to be pure. They want us to be pure, right? They want us. There are certain different religions. They want us to totally cover up our body, cover up ourselves. This is society, right? And we should be pure, and we are weak of vessel. And how else they view women? We're in subjection to the man, and the man is the head of the household. And what else? A lot of stuff. But at the same time, they say that these are men who still go out and have sex with hookers and molest little boys, the church, and rape little boys and rape little girls behind closed door. The church is doing this. And then they come in and preaching about purity and how you are sinful and shameful and you're going to go to hell while they're doing all this shit, while they're sacrificing people and doing blood sacrifice. The Bible speak about this. What do you think they were doing? I mean, in times memorial, they were sacrificing little girls, making blood sacrifice to their gods. So they're telling you not to do these things, that these things are sinful and you're going to go to hell and God is going to punish you while they're doing these things behind closed door. But God knows and sees all things because God is all things. Nothing ever stay hidden. Nothing. So at the same time, they're telling women that we are weak a vessel and we should cover up, right? And we shouldn't have sex before marriage. At the same time, these same people, the ones who control the music industry, right, is showcasing women in videos half naked shaking their fucking ass. You know who run the music industry and the film industry, come on. And these people claiming to be religious. And they're killing people in the name of religion. So yeah, I guess I'm just free flowing with this conversation here. But it's a lot of bullshit and nonsense that's happening now here, you know? And women are not less than men. Men are not more than women. We are all spiritual beings having a human experience. The feminine and the masculine energy must be balanced. One cannot dominate the other. That's not balance. God is love. God is not fear. God is not shame. God is not judgment. Why would the Creator create everything that He creates and give you all the things that He creates and then judge you for using it? This is why sometimes I don't understand people who use ganja, but then they look down on magic mushrooms. That is an aspect of the Creator. And then they abuse ganja too. Just walking around all day, especially in where I'm at right now in the culture, Jamaica, with a spliff in their mouth all day. Always have a spliff. Not everyone do it, but a lot of them do it. Just smoking spliff. Like that is probably not the way, the best way or the healthiest way to use ganja. But then when I talk about I use magic mushroom as a form of healing, they look down on it or talk, oh, it's you're not really working on yourself because you have to take a substance to get you somewhere. What the hell does ganja do? What the hell does plants do? And then these people don't even know anything about psychedelics. They never researched it, they've never used it, they have no connection to the entities, but they have something to say, full of judgment. Why would God create something and then we cannot use it? It makes no sense. Everything He creates is for our benefit. Right? It's to use. It's like saying water is here, but you can't drink it. I'm like, it's so silly. This is how just so stupid we are. Like, this is how ignorant religion got us to be. It's so stupid. It makes no damn sense. Like, how does it even make sense that you have a small percentage of people controlling millions and millions of people around the world, dictating our every move and what we can do and what we cannot do? How did they do that? Is it possible that they tell you that you are weak, you are imperfect, and you are just a body that's simply just gonna come and go and just die? And God is something to fear? God is love and there is no fear. There is no judgment because we are all aspects of the Creator having a human experience. And God is not judging us for anything that we have done. You know, I'm going to speak about an experience that I had on magic mushroom. And the ego is trying to come in and interrupt me, like, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. It's like, okay, I had this experience while I was on magic mushroom with the person that lived next door to me. And while I was on that experience, I went over to the next door neighbor crying, saying, oh my God, we're related, we're family, and I've been coming here and I'm right next to you and don't know. Right? This is the information that was coming through while I'm on the mushroom, that ancestrally that I was related to this person. And he came back over to my apartment and he was like sitting on the couch, sitting with me while I'm going through my experience. And I was like, I started to talk about how there's no judgment. God is not judging. There's no hell. There's not going to be no punishment when you die. If you die, there's no punishment. You're not going to hell. I was just saying all these things to this person, and I didn't even know why I'm saying it, but I was saying that was what's coming out. That was what the Spirit was bringing out through me. And then he's like asking me too, really, there's no hell, there is no judgment, God is not gonna punish you? And I'm like, no. And I was like, no, you could kill 1,000 people, when you leave this vessel, you're not going to get punished for it. There is no punishment. And that happened. And then the next time, like I went away for like a week or something. Then when I came back, the neighbors there, and while I was on the mushroom, by the way, I was like telling this, sharing all this personal stuff with this man, going through my experience. And I'm like, oh my God, why am I talking about all this stuff with this person? Why am I sharing all this information? And anyway, I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to look him in the face once I come down off these mushrooms, right? And when I came back, I was fine. I was like, oh. I could have faced him. I was all right. I was back to my normal self. And he's like, and we started having this conversation. I was like, yo, what was that all about? I don't know why I was saying all that stuff to you. And at the same time, when I was on the mushroom, I felt like I was a kind of like distracting, like holding him back from going to work, from leaving, because I felt like, but I couldn't say it. But I felt like if he had left, as he normally do for work, that he was going to get in an accident, a car accident. But I couldn't say it, but I just had the feeling that I was like stalling this man from leaving at the time that he normally leaves. And anyway, so, and he was taking his whole family's kids with him too when he was going to leave. Anyway, he didn't go to work on time at the same time he normally leave. He went later because he was like over in my apartment, coming and checking on me. But when I saw him again, when I wasn't on the mushroom, he was like, this guy is a police officer. So he shared with me how he had these two incidents where people got killed, where the person who got killed was not the person they went for, was like a young guy. Two incidents, people got checked out, and how he was having like nightmares and he couldn't sleep. It was keeping him up all night. You know, so paranoia and all kind of thing. Like people are gonna come burn. Anyway, point is, that was the reason why I was saying all the things I was saying about there's no judgment, you're not going to go to hell. But I didn't know at the time, like spirit don't tell you people's secrets. When they're revealing things to you, they don't tell you everything of why you're saying what you're saying to the person. But that person revealed to me why I was saying what I was saying. How does it help him in any way? Hopefully a peace of mind that no, God, there's no hell and you ain't gonna be burned alive there's no man with some pitchfork waiting for you somewhere. You know, and I had to tell him, like, God is forgive you, like, all is forgiven. God doesn't hold anything against you. Ain't nothing being held against you, man. Anyway, so these are stories that I have of psychedelics, and what this person's just saying was just a bunch of like fear-based negative things. You know, I'm like, man, say something positive. I've been on psychedelics too, where actually, spirit, spirit within, God within, heals someone, right? Where, yeah, there was someone there who needed healing. I didn't know. Me, Ayana, didn't know. It just came through. So those are positive stories. And I didn't understand why this guy was telling all these fear-based story. I'm gonna have to cleanse this place out because energy travel, vibration has no boundaries. I'm gonna cleanse this space out and play some sound healing after this. But I think I've been ranting, so I'm gonna stop ranting. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to say, all I want to talk about. But be careful of the people that you're following. Don't give your power away. You are your own creator. The trueness of your being is love. God is love. accept ourselves. We should accept ourselves as we are, as this having this human experience. You know, one thing that he didn't say that I thought he should have said was, yeah, you have the mind, the body, and the spirit, right? The body, the mind. The mind is not the brain, by the way. The mind, our thoughts, and the spirit, that part that's always connected, that source, consciousness, that's connected to the infinite creator all the time, that knows all things. That part that you pray to, that is that part, it's within you. What's happening right now is an integration of the mind, the body, and the spirit. We're learning to integrate our mind, our body, our spirit. We're not separate, right? Because consciousness is using the body and the mind to have this experience. This is why you have to cleanse and purify the body. When I say cleanse and purify, it's mean like, yeah, literally cleansing, like going on a detox, and also cleansing of imbalanced energies too. And this includes thoughts. Those are of the mind, thoughts and beliefs and programmings, and how we limit ourselves and limit the creator and think this is it and you're your body, and then once you die, that's it. The absurdity of what we've been taught. People literally think that they're their body. This is just a molecules spinning light. Bunch of molecules spinning light. We're just, the body is just light. It's made from light, spinning. That appears physical. We're appearing physical, but we're not. We're non-physical. So, yeah. Well, that is it. That's what I have to say. I feel like my camera is a bit trippy right now. I don't know. I feel like I'm in, like, literally in another dimension having this conversation. Feels weird. But anyway. Thank you for listening. Peace and love.